Imagine being so poor that one bad day means you cannot afford dinner, and then, just a few years later, you are sitting across from Wall Street billionaires, making millions from the very system they thought they controlled. But here's the crazy part. He didn't have a rich family. He didn't have connections. He didn't even have money to invest. He had something far more dangerous. A secret system that nobody else understood. And the moment Wall Street discovered what he knew, they wanted him destroyed. Our story begins with a young man who seems completely invisible. He works as a waiter. Every day he carries expensive food to wealthy customers while struggling to survive on his own salary. He watches businessmen throw around more money in one night than he could earn in months. But instead of feeling jealous, he watches. He studies them. He notices how they talk, how they make decisions, how they react when the market moves. And most importantly, he notices something everyone else ignores. Money doesn't always move randomly. There is a pattern, a system, a hidden rhythm behind the chaos. But nobody believes him. Because when you're poor, people don't call your ideas genius. They call them stupid. And that's exactly what happens to him. Until one night, he makes a discovery that changes his entire life. While working his shift, he overhears wealthy investors discussing a company that everyone believes is about to collapse. They're preparing to sell. But the waiter notices something strange. The numbers don't match the story. The company isn't dying. It's being deliberately pushed down. And if he's right, someone is preparing to make a fortune. He secretly studies the company's history, its finances, its competitors, its market movements. Then he finds it. A repeating pattern. A sequence that had appeared before. And when the same signals appeared in the past, the stock exploded shortly afterward. He doesn't have enough money to test his theory, so he does the only thing he can. He risks everything he has. And for the first time, his secret system works. The investment jumps. Then jumps again. Suddenly, the poor waiter isn't just watching Wall Street. He's beating it. But there's a problem. Someone else notices. At first, the money seems like a miracle. He makes enough to escape his miserable life. But he doesn't stop. Because he realizes something important. His first success wasn't luck. The system is real. So he starts testing it again and again. Different companies, different markets, different situations, and every time the same hidden patterns appear. His confidence grows, but so does the danger. Because Wall Street has thousands of analysts watching the markets. If one unknown man suddenly starts making impossible predictions, someone is going to ask questions. And soon, powerful people begin wondering, who is this guy? Then comes his first major opportunity. A massive market move is about to happen. Almost everyone is predicting one outcome, but his system predicts the opposite. He has two choices. Follow everyone or trust the system that made him successful. He chooses the second. And what happens next shocks everyone. The market moves exactly as he predicted. He makes a fortune. But this time, he doesn't celebrate. Because he finally understands the real game. If you can predict the market, powerful people will eventually come looking for you. His life changes overnight. The waiter who used to serve rich people is now becoming one of them. But becoming rich doesn't erase his past. He remembers every insult, every moment he went hungry, every person who looked down on him, and instead of becoming arrogant, he becomes obsessed. He wants to understand the system completely, so he develops rules. Never invest based on emotion. Never chase hype. Never trust what everyone is saying. Look for patterns. Wait for the right moment. And most importantly, protect your capital. These rules become the foundation of his secret system. But then he makes his biggest mistake. He becomes too confident. He sees a huge opportunity. The numbers look perfect. The pattern is almost identical to previous winning trades. So he goes all in. For the first time, the system fails. The market moves against him. His fortune begins disappearing. And suddenly, the man who seemed unstoppable is standing on the edge of losing everything. But then, he notices something. One tiny detail. Something hidden inside the numbers. And that detail changes everything. The failure wasn't proof that his system was wrong. It was proof that his system was incomplete. He had been looking at the market like a machine. But markets are controlled by people. Fear, greed, panic, confidence, politics, news. One emotional decision can destroy a perfect mathematical pattern. So he changes his strategy. Now he doesn't just study numbers. He studies human behavior. He learns when people panic, when they become greedy, when they follow crowds, and when they make decisions they will later regret. That's when his system becomes truly powerful. Because now, he isn't simply predicting numbers. He's predicting people. His next move is massive. He enters a market position when everyone else is running away. People call him crazy. Analysts say he's going to lose everything. But he waits. One day. Then another. Nothing happens. Until suddenly, the market turns. The price explodes upward. His fortune multiplies. And this time, Wall Street can't ignore him anymore. The poor waiter has become a serious player. But the biggest enemy hasn't even entered the story yet. A powerful Wall Street investor discovers his strategy. And unlike everyone else, he isn't impressed. He's threatened. Because if this unknown man can consistently predict market movements, he could disrupt the game. So the investor decides to attack him. Rumors spread. People question his trades. His reputation is attacked. Investors begin pulling away. And suddenly, his biggest challenge isn't the market. It's people. He could quit. Take his fortune, disappear, live comfortably for the rest of his life. But he remembers where he came from. And he refuses to run. Instead, he does something unexpected. He goes back to the basics. He studies the enemy. Not emotionally. Not personally. Like a problem. He looks at their investments, their timing, their weaknesses. And then he realizes his enemy is using the exact same pattern he once used, which means he knows exactly what they're going to do next. The battle begins. Millions of dollars move across the market. One side tries to push prices down. The other side waits. Everyone is watching. One wrong move could destroy everything. But our hero doesn't panic. He remembers his first lesson. The market rewards patience. So he waits. And waits. Then the signal appears. His secret system says now. He makes his move. The market suddenly turns. His opponent loses millions. Then tens of millions. And for the first time, the powerful Wall Street investor realizes something terrifying. This isn't some lucky young man. This guy understands the game. But instead of surrendering, the enemy makes one final move. A move so aggressive that even our hero didn't predict it. The market begins collapsing. His fortune is falling. Everyone around him tells him to sell. Sell now. But he refuses. Because his system is telling him something different. The collapse isn't the end. It's the beginning. And if he's right, this could become the biggest trade of his life. He takes the risk. He invests when everyone else is terrified. His friends think he's insane. His enemies think he's finished. The numbers keep falling. His losses grow. For a moment, it looks like the system has finally failed. But then something changes. The panic reaches its peak. People stop selling. Buyers begin returning. The market stabilizes. And then, it starts climbing. Slowly at first. Then faster. And faster. His losses disappear. Then his profits explode. The same people who mocked him are now trying to understand him. How did he know? How could he stay calm? The answer is simple. He didn't predict every move. He built a system that told him when not to panic. And that may be the most important lesson in the entire story. Because success isn't always about being smarter than everyone else. Sometimes it's about staying calm when everyone else loses control. The poor waiter is no longer poor. But the real victory isn't the money, it's the transformation. At the beginning he was invisible. People looked through him. He served wealthy men without ever being considered their equal. But he never let his circumstances decide his future. He learned. He observed. He failed. He adapted. And he kept going. His secret system wasn't really just about stocks. It was about thinking differently. While everyone else chased quick money, he built knowledge. While everyone else followed the crowd, he searched for patterns. While everyone else panicked, he waited. And that's why his journey from zero to hero feels so powerful. Because the biggest thing he conquered wasn't Wall Street. It was the version of himself who believed he could never escape poverty. But just when it seems like the story is over, there's one final question. What happens when a man who understands the system becomes more powerful than the people who created it? That's where his real legend begins. Years earlier, he was carrying plates for people who never knew his name. Now, those same kinds of people are studying him. And the lesson is bigger than money. You don't need to start with wealth. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need a reason to keep learning when nobody is watching. Because sometimes, the person everyone ignores is the person preparing to change everything. So if you're watching this right now and you feel stuck, remember his journey. Zero doesn't mean you're finished. It only means you're at the beginning. And if you enjoyed this Zero to Hero story, don't leave yet. Subscribe to Smart 20s, because here we break down the most powerful manhwa stories, hidden strategies, unbelievable transformations, and the lessons behind them. Like this video if you believe your starting point doesn't define your destination. And comment below, Zero to Hero. Because maybe one day, someone will look at your life and wonder how you went from having nothing to becoming unstoppable. This is Smart 20s. Your story starts now.